First Lady visited the University of Georgia in Athens today. Here's video of that. And while there, her press secretary gave us an update on President Joe Biden's condition after he tested positive for COVID. He said the president is only experiencing mild symptoms.
Channel 2 was there as First Lady Jill Biden visited the school, and Channel 2's Audrey Washington joins us now live in Athens. Audrey, the press secretary told you the First Lady tested negative.
Right. She had a scheduled visit here at UGA today, but at times during the day, it was unclear if she would have to cancel following President Biden's positive COVID test. Just hours after President Joe Biden tested positive for COVID, the First Lady of the United States, Dr. Jill Biden, appeared at her scheduled visit to the University of Georgia on Thursday. At times before the visit, it was unclear if Dr. Biden would have to cancel.
And she tested negative, correct?
And she tested negative, yeah, and she kept her full schedule today.
Dr. Jill Biden, along with the U.S. Secretary of Education, stopped at UGA to visit children at the Horizons Atlanta program. It's all a part of a tour of summer learning programs to highlight President Biden's American Rescue Plan. Part of that plan includes funding to expand summer learning and to help kids who fell behind during the height of the pandemic.
The students came back, and it was a little bit harder to form community in the classroom because a lot of students had learning loss, and a lot of students hadn't been around anybody, for a long time. So we knew we had to help our children, whether it was academically, emotionally, socially. These were all important parts of it.
This has been an amazing opportunity.
Jerry Whitney says she can see how the Horizons Atlanta program has helped her son
catch up in reading. It has given him an opportunity for socialization.
And the Republican National Committee responded today to Dr. Biden and the Secretary of Education's visit. The committee said in part, quote, "No one is interested in what Cardona or Jill Biden has to say, given the Biden administration's reprehensible treatment of parents and students." But the parents I spoke with today told me this additional funding for the program has been a major help for their children and has made a major difference in their children's lives. As for Dr. Biden, I'm told she is now in Wilmington, Delaware. And we are live here at UGA in Athens. Audrey Washington, Channel 2 Action News.
Lady of the United States is now checking on how federal funds are being used to address learning loss in our kids. So she met with an elementary school, some students in Athens today, despite learning earlier that the president was battling COVID-19 with minor symptoms. 11 Alive's Joe Ripley reports federal funds are making a difference in the classroom.
These kids are winding down their summer learning program with some swimming, with First Lady Dr. Jill Biden watching on. She and Education Secretary Miguel Cardona visited the University of Georgia Thursday, speaking with parents, students, and school staff to see how American Rescue Plan funds are addressing learning loss.
So much of education isn't just simple arithmetic or learning how to read and write. It's, all of the soft skills that work around having relationships with peers, working with, adults that you're not familiar with, being able to negotiate and work in a classroom setting.
Allison Nobles is the principal at Barnett Shoals Elementary. She says students struggled especially with math and reading during the pandemic, but lately she's noticed better test results from students and more of a willingness to learn.
We were having to teach them even how to hold a pencil, form letters, because if you think about it, those aren't things that you can learn really online.
Alex Swan, executive director of Horizons Atlanta, says the 6-week summer program in partnership with UGA works with 30 kids using about $200,000 in American Rescue Plan funds.
We can usually move our scholars forward 8 to 12 weeks, sometimes double the time we have them in literacy and math. If you think about it, not only are we preventing summer slide, but we're also setting them up for success in the fall.
11 Alive found students who attended programs in 2021 avoided a summer slide in English and math. Some of the biggest school districts in Georgia got hundreds of millions of dollars in federal relief funds and used them to directly address learning loss. Participation in Fulton County's Bridge to Success program grew by more than 800 kids this year.
It really reinforces, I think, all the work that parents everywhere have been putting in, and to show that schools and nationwide are really behind this.
The First Lady has a long history in education. In a couple of weeks, Dr. Biden says she will return to the classroom and teach English at community college. In Athens, Joe Ripley, 11 Alive News.
Lady tested negative for COVID this morning before she headed to Georgia. Dr. Jill Biden and U.S. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona were in Athens today. to visit Horizon's Atlanta program at UGA. The summer learning program is made possible through President Biden's American Rescue Plan. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes joins us live from UGA. And Deidre, this program is meant to help students recover academically after the pandemic.
Yeah, and from what we saw today, Courtney, they are certainly doing great work here. Dr. Biden's visit here to UGA was part of a three-city tour, summer tour effort designed to showcase the Biden administration's efforts to help students who are suffering learning loss due to the pandemic, to help them recover socially and academically. First Lady Jill Biden, joined by Education Secretary Dr. Miguel Cardona, traveled to Athens and the University of Georgia to see firsthand how Burnett Shoals Elementary School students are benefiting from the Horizon Summer Learning Program.
Dr. Biden and I are thrilled to see what we saw here today.
Horizons Atlanta at UGA launched this summer on the Athens campus, made possible through President Joe Biden's coronavirus relief program, which provided federal funding to help schools address academic and mental health deficits due to the COVID pandemic.
It was so important to pass the American Rescue Plan because we knew we had to help our children, whether it was academically, emotionally, socially. These were all important parts of it. So that's why the money, I think, is so important for programs like this.
That work more important now than ever. Horizons program directors found children nationwide have suffered significant learning loss due to the pandemic. Students across the country are testing behind an average of 4 months in math and 5 months in reading due to the COVID pandemic. Students living in areas most impacted by COVID lost an average of 7 months in reading. Through the Horizons program, students averaged 6 to 10-week gains in reading and math each summer. Atlanta Horizons Executive Director Alex Wan welcomed the opportunity to highlight some of the great work being done through the program.
I mean, it was just thrilling for us to be able to thank them for their investment that's made our program possible, for the kids to be able to see that people as high as the White House are interested in their success, and then just to be able to showcase our program and then let folks know all the great work that is being done.
And today's visit to UGA by Dr. Biden was the last leg of her three-city tour. She also visited New Haven, Connecticut and Detroit this week. In Athens, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.